just had a client meeting with a client, and they're facing a situation where they're going to have to work on something hard. They've got two avenues they can go down, and both of them produce outcomes that they don't want, and they're going to have to choose one or the other. I know that with what's going on right now, that many of you are in situations where you're having to cut back, you're having to do more with less, and you're having to fight really hard, to make things work. And that you're placed in situations where sometimes things are difficult, right? They're complex, and you're going to have to make a really quick decision. So just a shout out to Cole Beatty. Cole, if you're watching this one, Cole was the first person that ever framed up leadership to me in this way, which was that one of the definitions of leadership, let's turn the phone off, is choosing between two right options, right? So let's say you've got, a scenario where you've got to choose between what's right for a person or what's right for the organization. Your ability to hold those polarities and see a way through is kind of what leadership is, right? So what I'm going to share with you today is a framework to be able for you to really quickly do that for yourself. Now, if you get this right, what happens is, let's just make sure you can see that. This has been a bit tricky today. All right, let me try and share that again. If you get this right, you don't get stuck. So when you're thinking about what you're going to do, and in the moment you get stuck in your head and you kind of go back and forwards in the past and the future, and you ruminate on stuff. If you get this right, you're able to quickly see through and not get stuck. If you get this wrong, when you're called upon to make a decision in a meeting and you're in that moment, you kind of freeze, right? So what I'm going to do is show you a way to kind of anti-freeze yourself. If I can get this to work. Here we go. Let's try this again. There we go. We're in business. Took a while. The gremlins are in the internet today. Okay, here we go. So four things you need to ask yourself. And I'm going to give you a really simple framework to try and remember it. Actually, let's do that in black. So choosing between right versus right. Now, as I said, when we choose between right and right, sometimes there's not a simple answer. The problem is, how do we see through one where it's complex and it's not straightforward? It's not a simple answer, and we've got to weigh multiple things up. So if we cruise back out here, what we know is that, or what I'm going to teach you so that you know, is that I want you to think about 4 simple questions that you can ask. The first one is the plus question. All right. So if we do this, what will we gain? We, I, or the organization gain. So if we kind of, we kind of build out from there. If you think about the fact that there's 3 levels of benefit, or those 3 I's that you've got in terms of thinking about where you're at. So thinking about benefit, there's a benefit to you. There's the benefits, make this a bit smaller. There's a benefit to your team. There's a benefit to your organization. And then beyond that, there's a benefit to the ecosystem. Okay, so an ecosystem, not in the sense that it, it benefits necessarily the natural ecosystem, but the broader ecosystem that your organization or your team sit in. All right, including the community and the stakeholders that rely on you. All right, so when I say if we do this, what will we gain? I mean gain in that broader sense of those 4 areas. Make sense? Gotcha. Okay, so first thing is, what will we gain? The second is the plus minus question. So if we do X, remember you've got X, Y, what will we lose? Okay, so what will be taken away if we do it? How will it remove a problem? How will it make things clearer? How will it give me greater clarity? Okay. So these questions in here enable you, so if you think about the plus question, the plus and minus question, they really get you to think about, if this was in place, what are you going to get and what are you going to lose? All right, first part of this. Now, second set of questions is let's do those in green, is the minus plus, green, not black, but you know what I mean. All right, so if I don't do this, what will I gain? All right. So you think about, if we don't do that, what's going to be the benefit to all those stakeholders, you, the team, the organization, the ecosystem? It almost reverses the logic, because most of the time we think about we are going to do it, but let's think about if we don't, what's going to happen? And then the fourth question is, if we don't do that, if we don't do this, obviously like the other one, what will we lose? Okay, so we call that the well-formed condition, but the way I framed it up is many people have a problem of making really quick decisions in a world of complexity which we're in right now, and they get stuck. And they're unable to see a way through for either themselves or their team or their organization and what's expected of them in the world right now. Now, if you're having to make difficult decisions between what's right and right, thank you, Cole, for giving me the framing. Think about these four questions: the plus question, the plus minus question. So if we get it, what we get. If we do it, what will we lose? If we don't do it, what will we gain? If we don't do it, what will we lose? If you can quickly answer those four questions, you can commit to one or the other, or a third way through. It helps you get unstuck and make a quick decision. And for those stakeholders, you're adding a whole heap of value. I hope this has been useful for you. As always, if you're a leader right now, or a group of leaders, or a leadership team, you need to make a decision and you need help, and you can't participate yourself. You need someone else to help you through that, and to do that virtually over a series of sessions. Just drop me a line. Let's talk about how it works for your team. Love your work. Take care. See you soon. Bye.